Hello and warm regards from Next IS. Myself Ajay Singh Ahlawat, and in this discussion for the Anubhav Test 4, we are going to discuss the questions related with international relations and miscellaneous topics. So let's start with the first question. The first question we are having is about Bharat Mat, that is question number 36. So the question says Bharat Mat project aimed at strengthening India's trade outreach to the Middle East and Africa was recently launched by which of the following countries? At which of the following countries? So the answer here is United Arab Emirates. यूनाइटेड अरब एमिरेट्स में हमने अभी एक भारत मार्ट लॉन्च हम लोग कर रहे हैं. नाउ दिस विल बी सिचुएटेड एट जबेल फ्री ट्रेड जोन एंड इंडिया एंड यूएई हैव साइंड सीपा, that is comprehensive economic partnership agreement, in 2022. After this agreement, there has been an increase in the bilateral trade between the two countries. And important thing is that out of the 83 billion trade, bilateral trade in 2023, the 57 billion trade was for non-oil commodities. यानी ऑयल से हटके अब हम लोग नॉन ऑयल कमोडिटीज में भी हमारा ट्रेड इंक्रीज हो रहा है. And India and UAE has a target of 100 billion trade in the non-oil commodities by 2030. So the answer here is option B, that is United Arab Emirates, where we are having a Bharat Mart project. Now next question is question about the major transnational connectivity corridors involving India. So the first corridor we are having is International North-South Transport Corridor. Aims to connect India to Russia and Northern Europe using a multimodal transport system. So there are two things that we need to see here. First of all, ये किन किन को कनेक्ट कर रहा है कि इंडिया एंड रशिया एंड द नॉर्दर्न यूरोप. इज इट द राइट और रॉन्ग? सेकेंड थिंग, इज इट अ मल्टी मॉडल ट्रांसपोर्ट सिस्टम और नॉट? सो लेट्स सी. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, दिस इज गोइंग टू बी द route for this north-south corridor. So it is connecting India with Russia and Northern Europe. This part is correct. Secondly, multimodal part. For multimodal part, this will be a ship route till Iran, and after that it will be a rail and road route. So it is going for a multimodal transport system. So the first statement becomes correct here. Second is India Middle East Europe Economic Corridor seeks to link India to the Central Asian markets through new rail and sea infrastructure. Now here also we have to see two things. First thing is that कि क्या ये Central Asia से connect करता है? Is it connecting with the Central Asia? Secondly, is the rail and sea route there or only rail route is there? So this statement becomes wrong. Why? Because it is going to connect India with Middle East as well as with the Europe. So there is no role for the Central Asia. So this statement, second statement, becomes wrong here. So this statement is wrong because it is connecting Europe and Middle East, not Central Asia. So this is wrong. First statement is right. Third, India's trilateral highway in Southeast Asia aims to connect India to Cambodia via Myanmar. So again, this statement is wrong because it is not connecting Cambodia, it is connecting Thailand. So answer here should be option A, that is one only. Third and second statement are wrong. So this is this trilateral highway from More till Mandalay. Then it is going to the Mysore in Thailand. So it is connecting India, Myanmar and Thailand, right? Let's move to next question. The next question is about Indus Water Treaty. That was very much in news. And today itself the strike was there. So let's see the question. IWT was signed between India and Pakistan with the mediation of United Nations. So this statement is wrong. This Indus Water Treaty, it was signed in 1960. और किसने इसको ब्रोकर किया? It was brokered by World Bank, not United Nation. So mediator was World Bank, not United Nation. So the first statement becomes wrong here. So we can eliminate it. Second, IWT allocates water for Ravi, Byas and Satluj for unrestricted use to India. तो यहां पे हमें चेक करना है कि क्या ये तीन रिवर्स सही है. सेकेंडली, क्या अनरिस्ट्रिक्टेड यूज है या नहीं है. सो दिस स्टेटमेंट इज राइट. See, the Indus water river system, it actually has 6 rivers. First one is Indus. This Indus river, it rises from Bokarchu glacier. जो कि मानसरोवर के ही पास है, और यहीं पे आसपास है राक्षस ताल, जहां से सतलुज रिवर ओरिजिनेट होती है. नाउ आफ्टर दैट सेकेंड रिवर इज झेलम, देन थर्ड रिवर इज चेनाब, देन वी हैव फोर्थ रिवर एज रावी, fifth river as Byas, and lastly we have Satluj. So these are the 6 rivers for which the water has to be divided. Now we see for Indus, Jhelum and Chenab, the water for unrestricted use was given to Pakistan, and India can have a non-consumptive use. India can have a non-consumptive use of water for these 3 rivers. नॉन कंजम्पटिव यूज का मतलब ये है कि फॉर एग्जांपल वी आर यूजिंग दैट फॉर माइनिंग, और इंडस्ट्रीज के लिए हम अगर पानी यूज करें, या नेविगेशन के लिए यूज करें फॉर दैट, या इवन हाइड्रो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी प्रोजेक्ट के लिए भी हम लोग इसका पानी यूज कर सकते हैं. पर फॉर एग्रीकल्चर एंड कंजम्पशन वी कैन नॉट यूज दैट वाटर. So for non-consumptive use, India was allowed to use the water of Indus, Jhelum and Chenab. However, for consumptive use, the India was allowed water for water of the river Ravi, Satluj and Byas. उस केस में, कंजम्पटिव यूज के केस में, इंडस, झेलम एंड चेनाब के वाटर को हम लोग यूज नहीं कर सकते अकॉर्डिंग टू इंडस वाटर ट्रीटी. नाउ फॉर रावी, सतलुज एंड ब्यास वी हैव अ अनरिस्ट्रिक्टेड यूज. वी हैव अ अनरिस्ट्रिक्टेड यूज. उसी की वजह से हमने इंदिरा गांधी कैनाल भी बनाया, हरी के बैरेज हमने क्रिएट किया है इंडस वाटर, ब्यास और सतलुज के रिवर को यूज करने के लिए. नाउ कमिंग टू बैक टू द क्वेश्चन, द फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट तो ऑब्वियसली रॉन्ग हो गया. सेकंड स्टेटमेंट इज करेक्ट. इंडिया IWT allocates water of Ravi, Byas and Satluj for unrestricted use for India. Now third is, according to IWT, India is not allowed to use the waters of Indus, Jhelum and Chenab for mining and industrial purpose. As I've already told you, India can use this water for non-consumptive purposes, and in non-consumptive purposes, this in mining and industrial purposes also come. So this second statement becomes wrong here. Third, any dispute arising between the parties shall be settled directly by the permanent court of arbitration. So let's see क्या प्रोसेस है अगर कोई बीच में डिस्प्यूट इनके बीच में आता है तो. So for the dispute resolution, the first thing that the first measure will be about the permanent Indus Commission, जो आपस में ये दोनों बैठेंगे and they are going to resolve that dispute. If the dispute is not resolved, then a neutral expert can be appointed. That neutral expert will be giving advice on the technical matters. So if they are not satisfied with the neutral expert also, then third will be court of arbitration. This court of arbitration will be helped by PCA और परमानेंट कोर्ट ऑफ आर्बिट्रेशन. वो इसको एड करेगा कोर्ट ऑफ आर्बिट्रेशन को, ताकि इंडस वाटर का जो डिस्प्यूट है वो रिजॉल्व किया जा सके. So the third statement again becomes wrong. Why? It is saying that a dispute arising between the parties shall be settled directly. It will not be settled directly. It will be, PCA will be aiding it. It will not be directly involved. So this fourth statement also becomes wrong. So answer here becomes only second statement is right. That is option A, 2 only. Now next question we move on to question number 39. Which of the following countries recently designated the bald eagle as its national bird? Now see, usually आपने देखा होगा कि USA का जो symbol है, that is eagle. Actually that is the bald eagle. And the specificity about this bald eagle is that this is native of North America, first thing. Secondly, peculiarity क्या है इसकी? It has a yellow peak, then it is a white head and a brown body. Now USA has formally recognized this bird as their national bird. If we talk about India, तो इंडिया का नेशनल बर्ड कौन सा है? It is peacock. So for India, the national bird is peacock. USA has recognized this bald eagle as the national bird for USA, and obviously it is the symbol of the US government as well, this bald eagle. Now question number 40. India's first organic fisheries cluster, it has been opened at Sikkim. This statement is correct. In the Sorong district, this cluster is being established. तो पहला स्टेटमेंट तो हो जाएगा करेक्ट. Second, India's first 20x7 grain ATM. Yes, it has been launched at Odisha itself in Bhubaneswar. In Bhubaneswar, it has been launched, and it has been launched by United Nation World Food Program. ये आपको याद रखना है कि it has been launched by United Nation World Food Program, and this ATM has been named also. इस ATM का नाम है अन्नपूर्ति. अन्नपूर्ति. तो ये अन्न की पूर्ति करेगी ये मशीन, this ATM machine. That's why its name is अन्नपूर्ति. So second statement is also right. Third, India's first vertical lift railway sea bridge. Now what do you mean by vertical lift? देखो, दो तरह की ब्रिजेस होती हैं. एक होती है वर्टिकल लिफ्ट, दूसरी हो गई हमारी बेस्क्यूल ब्रिज. वर्टिकल लिफ्ट क्या है? लिफ्ट की तरह वर्क करती है. दिस ब्रिज इज हेयर. जब यहां सामने की तरफ से कोई शिप आएगा तो ये ब्रिज ऊपर की तरफ चली जाएगी. सो दिस इज अवर वर्टिकल लिफ्ट ब्रिज. दूसरी है बेस्क्यूल ब्रिज. बेस्क्यूल ब्रिज क्या है? वो बीच में से ओपन हो जाती है. तो फॉर एग्जाम्पल दिस इज द बेस्क्यूल ब्रिज. ये ब्रिज है और ये इस तरह से ओपन हो जाएगी एंड इट विल बी लाइक दिस. So that the ship can pass through it. Now, recently, India has installed its first vertical rail bridge at the Pamban railway line, जो कि हमारा कनेक्ट करता है रामेश्वरम आइलैंड को. So this third statement is also right. First is right and second is also right. So answer here becomes option D, 1, 2 and 3. All the three are correct. ये basically आपके current affairs से question था. Now next we move on to arrange the following countries in the decreasing order of their land border length with India. क्योंकि बॉर्डर का इश्यू अभी चल भी रहा है एंड देयर हैज बीन अ लॉट ऑफ इवैक्यूएशन आल्सो. many illegal migrants have been identified and they are being disposed of. So in that context the question becomes relevant for us. So answer here the options are China, Bangladesh, Myanmar and Pakistan. So सभी को हम देख लेते हैं इंडिया की जितनी भी नेबरिंग कंट्रीज हैं. First of all, moving ahead with the Afghanistan, it is sharing a border of 106 kilometers. देन पाकिस्तान के साथ हमारा है 3323 यानी 3323 किलोमीटर. विद चाइना इट इज 3488 किलोमीटर्स. देन फिर विद नेपाल इट इज 1751 किलोमीटर्स. विद भूटान इट इज 699 किलोमीटर्स. देन विद बांग्लादेश इट इज 4096.7 किलोमीटर्स एंड विद म्यांमार इट इज 1643 किलोमीटर्स. तो अगर हम सीक्वेंस में इसको अरेंज करें तो सबसे पहले तो आएगा बांग्लादेश. आफ्टर दैट इट विल बी चाइना. Then it will be Pakistan. After Pakistan, it will be Nepal. Nepal के बाद Myanmar. Myanmar के बाद it is Bhutan. And after Bhutan, it is Afghanistan. So ये sequence हमारा बनेगा. Let's go to the question. So first one is Bangladesh. Second is China. Third one we are having is Pakistan. And fourth one is Myanmar. So answer here becomes 2143. So option B. 2143 is the answer here. Now let's move to next question. Next question is question number 83. With reference to United Nations Security Council, consider the following statement. Admitting a new member country to the United Nations requires the recommendation of UNSC. So question में move करने से पहले you tell me which was the last country that was recognized or admitted by the United Nations. वो लास्ट कंट्री कौन सी थी और कब उसको एडमिट किया था यूनाइटेड नेशंस ने, एंड हाउ मेनी आर द टोटल मेंबर्स. ओके, लेट्स मूव एट. एडमिटिंग ए न्यू मेंबर कंट्री टू द यूनाइटेड नेशन रिक्वायर्स रिकमेंडेशन ऑफ द यूएनएससी. दिस स्टेटमेंट इज एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट. First step is UNSC should recommend that this country can become a member of United Nations. Secondly, after the recommendation, the matter will go to United Nations General Assembly. After its recommendation, it will go to United Nations General Assembly. And this United Nations General Assembly, with a majority of 2/3, is going to take the action कि उसको member बनाना है या नहीं बनाना है. And secondly, there is a criteria also. A basic criteria is that जिसको भी हम लोग नया member बना रहे हैं वो aggressive nature का नहीं होगा. That state should not be aggressive. That means it should not be harming other states. So that is the basic criteria they have. So this is the method of admitting a new member. So the first statement is right. Second, the UNSC has the power to take military action against aggressor. Yes, there are many functions of United Nations Security Council. These are the functions here. And one of the important function is to take military action against the aggressor. Because Security Council का एक basic purpose है कि peace and harmony maintain रखना all over the world. So initially there are going to be steps like that कि जैसे कि to maintain international peace and security, investigating any dispute and situation, recommending methods of adjusting such disputes, formulate plans कि किस तरह से चीजों को सही किया जा सकता है, and one of the important steps becomes to make a military action जब कुछ और भी possibility ना हो. So this second statement is also correct. First is correct and second is correct. Third one, election of a judge to the International Court of Justice requires an absolute majority in UNSC and United General Assembly. I hope everyone knows what is an absolute majority. Absolute majority का मतलब ये है कि out of total members, more than 50% should be saying yes to that thing. That is absolute majority out of the total members. एक होता है प्रेजेंट एंड वोटिंग, एक होता है द टोटल मेंबर्स. फॉर एग्जांपल मान लो 193 मेंबर्स है यूनाइटेड नेशन के अंदर. आउट ऑफ दोज 193 द एब्सोल्यूट मेजोरिटी विल बी 97. क्या होगी? 97 होगी, यानी वो एब्सोल्यूटली मेजोरिटी देखी जाएगी, टोटल मेंबरशिप से मेजोरिटी देखी जाएगी. So this statement is correct. This International Court of Justice have 15 judges and every judge is appointed for a tenure of 9 years. So it has 15 judges and the tenure of each judge is 9 years. For selecting a judge, absolute majorities in United Nations Security Council as well as in General Assembly is required. So this third statement is also right. Answer becomes option D, 1, 2 and 3. Now the next question is about question number 84. Question number 84 is about consider the following pairs, places and news and location. So the first one is Amraha region in Ethiopia. This statement is correct. Here it is Ethiopia. ये Ethiopia है. And it is a landlocked country. This is the Amraha region. Amhara region or Amhara district. So this first one is correct. Second is Yetanga province in Ukraine. This is wrong. Yetanga province is in Burkina Faso. This is Burkina Faso. Again, this is a landlocked country. So this second one is wrong. This is Burkina Faso. Now third one we are having is Accra. Accra in Sudan. This is again wrong. Accra is in Ghana. यहाँ पे है घाना में. ये इसकी कैपिटल सिटी है अकरा. सो दिस थर्ड वन ऑल्सो बिकम्स रॉन्ग. साउथ सुडान यहां पे है. दिस इज अ लैंडलॉक्ड कंट्री एंड इसकी कैपिटल है खार्तूम. So the third one also becomes wrong here. So answer here becomes option A, that is only one pair. The first one is correct. Second and third are wrong here. इनकी लोकेशन आपको पता होनी चाहिए. सेकेंडली, अफ्रीका इज द ओनली कॉन्टिनेंट जिसमें से ट्रॉपिक ऑफ कैप्रिकॉन, ट्रॉपिक ऑफ कैंसर एंड ट्रॉपिक ऑफ कैप्रिकॉन अलॉन्ग विद इक्वेटर एंड अलॉन्ग विद प्राइम मेरिडियन, चारों इंपॉर्टेंट लाइंस इससे पास होती हैं. सो यू शुड नो अबाउट कौन सी कंट्री ट्रॉपिक ऑफ कैंसर पे है, कौन सी कंट्री ट्रॉपिक ऑफ कैप्रिकॉन पे है, इक्वेटर पे है और प्राइम मेरिडियन पे है. Now next we move to question number 85. It says, with reference to the new parliament building of India, consider the following statement. The interiors of the Lok Sabha are themed on the national bird and Rajya Sabha are themed on the national flower. This national flower कौन सा है हमारा? It is lotus. And national bird, it is peacock. So if we see Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha is themed on peacock and Rajya Sabha is themed on lotus. So the first statement is correct here. Second, the Sengol installed in the new building symbolizes the transfer of power and is rooted in the ancient Tamil tradition. देखो, when the new parliament building was inaugurated, the Sengol was installed here. Sengol is an ancient tradition from the Chola kingdom. उस टाइम पे क्या था, जब भी पावर को ट्रांसफर किया जाता था तो संगोल को दिया जाता था प्रीस्ट के द्वारा. अधीनम्स होते थे. देयर आर अधीनम्स इन द तमिल एंड दे गिव दिस संगोल टू द न्यू रूलर And at the time of independence, this Sengol was presented to our first Prime Minister, Shri Jawaharlal Nehru, and that Sengol was kept as his residence in the Allahabad, जो म्यूजियम बना दिया गया. Now, after the new building was inaugurated, the Sengol was now placed in the new building. That's why it was in news. So this one is becomes right. Third one is Foucault's pendulum at the new Parliament building demonstrates the rotation of the Earth. Yes, this statement is again right. So answer here becomes option D, 1, 2, and 3. Now this is the Sengol and this is the Foucault pendulum. Foucault pendulum is having a very long string जिसके नीचे pendulum attach रहेगा, and with the rotation of the earth its plane actually changes. जिस plane में वो oscillate करता है वो plane change होता है, जिससे पता चलता है कि earth is rotating. So this is the we can say the significance of this Foucault pendulum. So the answer here was option D, that is 1, 2, and 3. Now next question we are having is question number 86. Which of the following best explains the kafala system sometimes seen in news? देखो, when in the Gulf countries there is a system prevalent that is known as kafala system. इस kafala system में क्या होता है? The person who is employer and एक होगा employee. So the employees will basically will be the migrant workers, जो कि एक employer के अंडर काम करेंगे. Now in Gulf countries, to control the employees, this kafala system is very much prevalent. Under this kafala system, the employer's permission will be required by the employee if they want to change a job, if they want to change their place, or if they want to move out of the country. So it is actually a governing system of the employment and residency of the migrant workers in certain Gulf countries. So this second option is correct here. And किस Gulf country के अंदर ये prevalent है? For example, this is prevalent in Saudi Arabia, UAE, then we have Kuwait, Bahrain. In these countries, this kafala system is very much prevalent. Now next is question number 87. Which of the following statement is not correct regarding the major gulfs of the world? तो पहले एक बार देख लेते हैं कौन से गल्फ्स हैं, उसके बाद उसके ऊपर वी आर गोइंग टू चेक कि क्या उनकी लोकेशन है, देन वी आर गोइंग टू मूव टू द क्वेश्चन. First is Gulf of Aden, is situated between Yemen and North and Somalia in the south. Then second is we are having is Persian Gulf. Then third one is Gulf of Mexico. Then fourth one is Gulf of Aqaba. So let's see इनकी लोकेशन क्या है पहले तो. So this is the map, I think you know this. This is Saudi Arabia. ये है Persian Gulf. This is Persian Gulf. You can open your atlas as well. ये जो छोटा सा बना हुआ ये है स्ट्रेट ऑफ हॉर्मूज. स्ट्रेट ऑफ हॉर्मूज ये है गल्फ ऑफ ओमान. दिस इज गल्फ ऑफ ओमान. देन दिस इज गल्फ ऑफ एडन. This is Strait of Bab al-Mandeb. This is Red Sea. यहां पे this portion, this is Gulf of Aqaba. एंड ये वाला जो गल्फ है ये है गल्फ ऑफ सुएज, जहां से सुएज कैनाल जाता है. Gulf of Suez. Now this Gulf of Aqaba is also important. Why? Because it is having opening for Israel, Jordan, then we have Saudi Arabia and Egypt. तो इन चारों कंट्रीज को ये कनेक्ट करता है. कौन सा? Gulf of Aqaba. And Gulf of Aqaba connects Israel with the Red Sea. तो Israel के पास there are two openings or two sea connectivities, one to the Mediterranean Sea, one to the Red Sea. That should be clear to you. Now next is the Strait of Gibraltar. So this is the Strait of Gibraltar. This is Atlantic Ocean. This is Mediterranean Ocean. ये अफ्रीका है, आई थिंक यू नो दिस थिंग. दिस इज आवर स्पेन. ये ऊपर की पोर्शन है. तो ये जो पोर्शन है, ये जो बीच में लाइन है, ये है स्ट्रेट ऑफ गिब्राल्टर. दिस इज मेडिटेरियन सी, आई हैव ऑलरेडी टोल्ड यू. ये था गल्फ ऑफ अकाबा, दिस वाज गल्फ ऑफ सुएज. ये है स्ट्रेट ऑफ बब अल मंडेब, रेड सी, पर्शियन गल्फ, स्ट्रेट ऑफ हॉर्मूज. देन यहां पे आएगा गल्फ ऑफ ओमान, यहां पे आएगा गल्फ ऑफ एडन. एंड गल्फ ऑफ एडन के अंदर भी दिस नीचे वाला जो पोर्शन है ये है यमन, एंड ऊपर वाला जो पोर्शन वो क्या है, ओमान. नीचे की तरफ दिस इज सोमालिया. सो आई थिंक द लोकेशन इज क्लियर टू यू. नेक्स्ट वी आर हैविंग इज गल्फ ऑफ मैक्सिको. तो उसको भी एक बार देख लेते हैं. तो ये जो पूरा पोर्शन है ये है गल्फ ऑफ मैक्सिको का. ये है, दिस इज स्ट्रेट ऑफ फ्लोरिडा. This is Yucatan Peninsula. Strait of Yucatan Channel. This is Yucatan Channel. This is Yucatan Channel. This is Yucatan Peninsula, और Yucatan Peninsula is in Mexico. उसके साथ साथ please look at these countries also. There is Costa Rica. This is Nicaragua. There is Panama. This is Panama. And this is the Panama Canal and Isthmus of Panama. Then there is Costa Rica, there is Belize. So these Central American countries you should be knowing. So these are the important locations for the question we are having. Now let's move to the question. The question says, Gulf of Aden is situated between Yemen in north and Somalia to its south. ये हमने अभी देखा था. This statement is right. Second, Persian Gulf lies east of Arabia and west of Gulf of Oman. I think this is also clear to you. This is Persian Gulf, east of Saudi Arabia and west of Gulf of Oman. So this statement also becomes correct. Third, the Gulf of Mexico is bordered by United Nations, Mexico and Cuba. So this is United Nations, this is Mexico, and this is Cuba. So this third statement is also right. Last, Gulf of Aqaba opens into the Mediterranean Sea via Strait of Gibraltar. This statement becomes wrong. Why? This is Strait of Gibraltar, this is Mediterranean Ocean, and this is Atlantic Ocean. This is Mediterranean Sea and this is Atlantic Ocean. यहाँ पे है Gulf of Aqaba. So the fourth statement becomes wrong here. So the answer should be, it is asking for not correct. So answer should be option D, that is Gulf of Aqaba does not open into the Mediterranean Sea or Atlantic Ocean. So with this we conclude the discussion for this part of the Anubhav 4. Thank you very much.